Christopher Columbus, an Italian explorer sailing for the Spanish crown, landed on Cuba's shores in 1492. He claimed the island, which he named Juana, for Spain. Columbus was awestruck by Cuba's natural beauty, describing it as the most beautiful land that human eyes have ever seen. Cuba, the largest island in the Caribbean, boasts lush landscapes, pristine beaches and vibrant coral reefs. Its strategic location at the mouth of the Gulf of Mexico quickly made it a crucial hub for Spanish trade and exploration in the New World. The island, inhabited by the Taino people, held a wealth of natural resources. These included fertile lands, rich deposits of gold, and valuable timber. The Taino were a peaceful and welcoming people, but their encounter with the Spanish would prove disastrous. The Spanish, driven by the quest for gold and land, began to exploit Cuba's resources and enslave its indigenous population. This brutal treatment, coupled with diseases brought from Europe, decimated the Taino population within a century. The Spanish then began importing enslaved Africans to work on the burgeoning sugar plantations, marking the beginning of a dark chapter in Cuban history. Cuba's story is one of resilience and transformation, shaped by its complex past and its enduring spirit. From its discovery by Columbus to its revolutionary present, Cuba has consistently captivated the world's attention. Its vibrant culture, complex history, and the enduring spirit of its people make it a truly unique and fascinating nation. The Spanish colonial period, spanning over 4 centuries, profoundly shaped Cuba's social, economic, and political landscape. The island became a cornerstone of Spain's vast colonial empire. Its fertile lands were transformed into vast sugar plantations, fueling the European appetite for sugar and enriching the Spanish crown. The Spanish imposed a strict social hierarchy, with Spanish-born colonists at the top, followed by Creoles, people of Spanish descent born in Cuba, and then enslaved Africans and their descendants at the bottom. This rigid system bred resentment and fueled the desire for independence among the Creole population. As the 19th century dawned, revolutionary fervor began to sweep across Latin America. Cuba, too, felt the winds of change. Inspired by the ideals of liberty, equality, and fraternity, Cuban intellectuals and revolutionaries began to challenge Spanish rule, setting the stage for the island's long and bloody struggle for independence. Despite facing brutal repression from the Spanish authorities, the Cuban people's desire for freedom could not be extinguished. Their struggle for independence would become a defining chapter in Cuban history. The struggle for Cuban independence was a long and arduous journey, marked by heroic sacrifices and unwavering determination. The 10 Years' War, from 1868 to 1878, led by Carlos Manuel de Céspedes, marked the first major uprising against Spanish colonial rule. Although ultimately unsuccessful, it ignited the flames of Cuban nationalism. José Martí, a poet, writer, and political theorist, emerged as the leading voice of the Cuban independence movement in the late 19th century. Martí's writings and speeches eloquently articulated the Cuban people's aspirations for freedom and self-determination, galvanizing support both within Cuba and among Cuban exiles abroad. Martí recognized the need for unity among all Cubans, regardless of race or social class. In the fight against Spanish colonialism, he founded the Cuban Revolutionary Party in 1892 to organize and coordinate the struggle for independence. Martí's vision and leadership would inspire generations of Cubans. His legacy continues to resonate deeply within Cuba and beyond, serving as a powerful symbol of resistance against oppression and the pursuit of social justice.